I just got another letter from her lawyers requesting that I send over all of my tax returns and all of my bank statements because she's trying to get 20,000 and I think they're trying to take it up to like 40. And they've been looking at all of my movies and all of the concerts and shows that I've been doing, and they're over there like blood-sucking lawyers rubbing their hands. And Samantha's doing the same thing, rubbing her hands, and they're going, oh shit, you know, for the last year and a half, he looks like he's been doing really well. Let's go ahead and get them bank statements over here so we can figure out a way to get this law firm another $600,000 that we're asking for in legal fees. It's a dirty, dirty game out here. Well, y'all gonna keep waiting. Y'all pray for me because I am hearing that the appeals court around my case is being appealed. My divorce case is being appealed, and they're going to give me the outcome of my appeal August 25th.
My outfit together. I think I'm gonna go eat me some red lobster. I ain't never been arrested. Never went to jail in my life.
Hear me. Hear me. Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on. When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down, stop calling, skipping over the man, and just checking on the woman.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chaha, Kodash. I want to give double honors to that apostles and others of great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to sincere Akim that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in our truth and sincerity. I want to start by going into this article from NBC News concerning Tyrese Gibson. It says Tyrese Gibson ordered jailed over failure to make child support payments. A Georgia judge found the Fast and Furious actor in contempt for failing to pay more than $73,000. And this is why we always tell you that these actors and these sports figures, these Jakes in Hollywood, don't have the money that they say they have, or don't have the money that they're supposedly worth on paper. Because, see, matter of fact, let's actually look up Tyrese net worth, because he was incarcerated over $73,000. You know, so Tyrese Gibson has an estimate net worth of $4 million in 2024. You know, so you would think on paper that 73,000 would be something easily for Tyrese to pay, you know, regardless of the circumstances, especially over the threat of him being incarcerated. You know, hey, if Jake has access to enough money to keep him out of jail or prison, they're gonna pay that. You know. Let's continue on in this article. It says it says a judge in Georgia on Monday ordered actor and singer Tyrese Gibson jailed over his failure to make child support payments. Fulton County Superior Judge said the Fast and Furious franchise star in contempt from failing to pay more than $73,000 in child support, according to order for incarceration reviewed by NBC News. The court hereby orders that the respondent shall be taken into custody and incarcerated until such time as he purges himself of contempt by making a payment in the purge amount or until further order of this court. Record said Gibson, 45, owed $73,525.73 in child support, according to the order. You know, so basically Tyrese said he's not paying it or he ain't got it. And he was jailed. I'm not sure if he's still in jail, but this is what this article is going into. All right. Now, furthermore, you shouldn't get married according to Esau's laws to these women, because that is making a covenant with the heathen. You know, these marriage contracts are third-party contracts, a contract with the state, the government, you, and the woman. All right. Now let's get a quick precept real quick. Let's go to Exodus, the 23rd chapter, and I'm going to start. Let's see. Let me start up a little bit. Let's start in the verse. All right, let's start in verse 27. It says, I will send my fear before thee, and I will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thine enemies turn their backs unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivitite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out before thee in one Slaki. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. You know, it's talking about these other nations, okay? Verse 32, and here's the point. It says, thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. So you're not supposed to make no covenant with these other nations. And you getting married, you putting a ring on a woman's finger and entering into a third-party contract with her, going and getting those marriage certificates. You have entered into a contract with the heathen, all right, with the state, with the government, ultimately Esau, Edom. It says, they shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. You know, and a lot of our people have entered into these contracts, these marriage certificates, and it's not set up for you men. These marriage certificates, these marriage contracts, they're really geared unto these women, all right? And the favor is on her side. The ball is actually in her court in all aspects, man, and Tyrese is feeling that, man, all right? That's what he's going through. And you men that have a little bit of money in your pocket, that have some status, have some fame, that are in Hollywood, y'all are targets, okay? Y'all are targets for these women. These women are getting with you not because they like you, all right? Not because they want to spend the rest of their life with you and raise your children. They're with you of what they can benefit and get out of you. And a lot of them will stick around for 5, maybe even 10 years, maybe more. have some kids with you, but ultimately they have an agenda against you on down the line to profit from that divorce, from that divorce settlement, from that child support, okay? From trying to take half of everything you own. And Jake, time and time again, keeps falling into this trap, because that's what it is. It's a trap, all right? It's nothing but a snare and a trap. And these women, they know that. You know, and Tyrese, he went in, and you know, I had a couple clips that were played at the beginning, you know, but when he was in one of those clips when he was speaking, he was actually speaking about his career, you know, the ups and downs of his career, and even went as far as saying it was even hard to put food on the table, you know, and that's what the majority of these so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Hollywood actors are going through. You know, they have ups in their career, and they have the downs in their career. And you know, sometimes they be doing all right, and other times, you know, they ain't doing so good. But from the outside looking in, everyone thinks that everything's all good, everything's okay. You know, and this is, you know, once again, this is a trap that Esau uses amongst our people in that type of world and that type of realm. Okay, you know, Esau wants to make it where you're always dependent on him, okay? And you can never be self-sufficient, so to speak, man. You know, you're always gonna have to keep appearing in these movie roles. You're always gonna keep having to dribble that basketball. You gotta ask yourself, you know, these top level professional athletes and these actors as well, you know, you would think after they've been in the game playing basketball, boxing for so many years, and now they're getting up in age, you got to ask yourself, man, why these guys ain't retired yet? Go live on an island, chill, and live the rest of their life. Why are they still doing this? Because they have to, man. Esau's got that leash around them. They can't retire, or they would have, you know? Let's go to the Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, and let's go down to the 31st verse. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You know, a lot of our people envy what, you know, Esau has set up at the forefront of happiness, you know, concerning a family, concerning marriage, and, you know, you finding a wife, you getting a marriage certificate, and you go live happily ever after within the big house with the white picket fence. Okay. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Okay. And these laws, you know, all these things that have been established in Babylon the Great were not set up for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right. They were set up for Esau and his people. You know, these amendments, these rights, you know, these declarations, everything that America was founded on, the so-called foundations and the premises, was not set up for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When these different things were being written and put on paper, you Israelites were in hardcore captivity, man. All right? Hardcore captivity. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 25. It says, I implied mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, all right, concerning her mind, and her hands as bands. These women look at you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American men that are, you know, supposedly doing well for yourselves, especially you men in Hollywood and you men that got these multi-million-dollar contracts. They're being portrayed all over the news, all over the TV, all over the media. You got a large following. A lot of people look up to you to go watch your games, watch your performances, right? They look at you as as food. All right, you're targets to them. Okay. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And you're seeing that, Tyrese. He's been taken. He wasn't able to escape. Ultimately, it was set up by the Most High Yahweh for you to get with this woman. And I believe he met this woman at a restaurant, because I watched a couple videos that he was talking about. I met a woman that basically didn't even have, no money in her bank account to, being able to travel the world and experience all these different experiences off of his wealth. And now she is divorcing him, taking his kids, putting him on child support, and on top of everything else that comes with the divorce, probably taking a couple of his cars, a couple of his mansions, a large lump sum of money, because these judges, they order these child support payments and these alimonies off of what you've made on paper, those documents, those tax papers. All right, so you get a big old lump sum of money, and you in that Hollywood world, you just made $10 million, $20 million. Now you spending money all over the place. You done bought a couple houses and this and that. And that money starts to dwindle. And now all the taxes from the different things you had to buy, you're constantly have to keep up with. And then you have a lifestyle that you're, a basis of a lifestyle that you have to upkeep because of your status, because of your fame. All right. And they don't take that into account. A lot of these Jakes in Hollywood, well, I say the majority of them, they don't know how to manage money properly. Okay. And this is what happens. You end up having to go into jail because you can't make, really, this is a small amount of money. And if you pertain it to somebody with that type of status on the earth. All right. It says, and I find more bitter than death a woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Okay. You should never, ever, ever get married. All right. Let's go to Sirach, the 25th chapter. And when you get into, the basis of what actually marriage is, according to the scriptures, is sex. Sex consummates marriage. Okay, not a certificate, not paperwork. All right. And when, and we're going to get into it, because Sirach 25th chapter goes into that bill of divorce. And that bill of divorce, that's going into when, we were under our own government, so to speak, man. When we weren't, being in slavery and captivity under these other nations. Okay. Let's start in Sirach, the 25th chapter, and the 16th verse says, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Yeah, she changed her face. She went from smiles and she's so in love with you. I'll do whatever you say. This, that, and so forth. Let's have kids. Let's travel. Let's do this. Till one day you come in the house and she got a different she got a look on her face you ain't seen before. He said, hold up, something ain't right, And she's sitting down saying, we need to have a conversation. I'm not happy no more. You don't talk to me enough. You don't do this. You don't do that. Whatever excuse that she makes, And she's already talked to a lawyer prior to her talking to you. And she's talking that divorce talk. She's talking we should just split up, do this and do that. A lot of times these women don't give no type of warning, man. These women are very good at what they do. Okay. It says, verse 17, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. It says, her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. And a lot of these women, even before they get divorced, to the men that they're in relationship with. They're out sleeping around. You know, there's a study that's found that the majority of the women have a backup, you know, in case the relationship goes south. Multiple backups. And, you know, if this woman has done this with Tyrese, she's thinking to herself, I can do this with somebody else. And they're doing that. All right. Look at these women in Hollywood. They run through these actors, divorcing one, divorcing another. See when they can get from this guy, regardless if they're in a marriage relationship or not, you know, and then they might get into a type of a marriage relationship with another man and then divorce him. It's an ongoing cycle. And these women are profiting from it. Okay. Those numbers in their bank accounts are adding up. It says all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. It says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. All right, now let's keep reading down. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. That's right. You can't just look at the outward appearance of these women, but that, you know, that does have a heavy influence in our decisions that we make concerning, you know, getting with these women. All right. You know, but we also have to look at, you know, the inner workings and the inside, the mental state of these women as well. Okay, because a lot of these women look good on the outside, but inside they're sinister, man. They're all fucked up and jacked up. Okay, and a woman can put on a good show, can put on a good front, you know, but at the end of the day, she has ulterior motives, and she's not right. She's not right mentally. You know, she's messed up in the head. She's spiritually messed up. You know, majority of these women got a lot of demons on them. So we just have to be wise in the decisions that we make concerning dealing with these women. Okay. It says, verse 22, it says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. It says, a wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. You know, and the way this society is set up with this, you know, a man can only have one woman, and if he has another woman, that's considered cheating, and that's vital. What's the word? That's enough reason in court to be able to file for a divorce. You know, now, a man can have as many women as he pleases, really as many women as he can afford, according to the scriptures, man. All right, that whole one woman thing, man, it just goes hand in hand with Esau's control, his government, and the various different things he's pushing in the society, man. You know, it says, a wicked woman abated the courage, maketh an heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came in the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. You know, the beginning of sin came through the woman, came through Eve, man. All right, she was deceived by the serpent first. Then Adam was deceived. And, you know, she persuaded Adam, okay, to take upon and partake in those philosophies and those doctrines, man, that were against the Most High Yahweh. So women have a heavy influence on these men. And Esau knows that. And Esau has set it up to use that influence to persuade you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men to follow his plans, his agendas, and ultimately go against Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? The scriptures say the Lord had created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right? Scriptures also say that, you know, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. Let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And the people that our people look up to are causing you to go down that path of destruction, man. They're causing you to go off. Now let's go back to Sirach, the 25th chapter. Let's continue on in verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. And that's another thing that these men do. They give so much liberty to their wives, to their women. And then they end up in a situation where she wants to leave you, where she wants to get with another man. Well, here it is. You didn't give her liberty to go to the club, to go out and have girls' night and to do this and do that. Now she's seeing other men. Men are approaching her. You know what I'm saying? With the same level of status you got, if not more. Okay. So now she's out there choosing. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Okay. Yeah. And that bill of divorce was set up when we had our own government and we weren't, under the rulership of these heathens, man. Okay. That's not saying go get married unto these women according to the ways of the heathen. And then if she follows not as you would her, you divorce her according to the ways of the heathen, concerning these marriage certificates, man. Okay. It don't work like that, because in Esau's rulership, in Esau's system, you can't do that. Let's say you do get married according to Esau's contracts, so to speak, and your woman is not doing as you see fit, and is going against, all right, ultimately the scriptures, and she's unruly, she's this and that. You can't just go down to the court and say, I want to divorce my woman because she ain't doing this and doing that and that and this. They're gonna look at you and like, hey, the lawyer's gonna look at you and say, well, we ain't got enough evidence. You're gonna need your hard evidence on that woman, to divorce her and her not be able to come with no accolades and benefits from that relationship, especially if you have kids. Okay. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. We're going to go into, the curses. All right. Because these Jakes that have a little bit of fame and a little bit of money and the status like Tyrese has, they think that they're immune to the curses that are upon the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. The curses are not subjective to your status on earth. The curses are upon all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you biblical Israelites. Okay. So Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power Yahweh, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. And all of us have gone astray. All right. We all fell short. We all, sought after to be like these other nations, man. We broke the first covenant. It said that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So all these curses have come upon us and overtaken us. This has happened. It says 16, it says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So wherever you go, you're under those curses, man. You're looked down upon. It says, cursed shalt thou, Slaki, verse 17, Deuteronomy 28:17, cursed shalt be thy basket and thy store. So your business, the little money that you make, the job that you have, everything that you put your effort to do financially is all cursed, man. That's why you look at, a Tyrese who's been in Hollywood for years and years and years, and you have to ask yourself, why does this man not have $1 billion saved up? That goes into the curses. It says, verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, thy increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. So all the things that we've accumulated in this place are cursed. It says, verse 19, cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in. When you're born into this world, you're born into the curses. You got our people that love to celebrate their birthday, which really it's your cursed day. It says, cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Yeah, when you leave this place, you left under the curses. Verse 20, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do. So everything that you put your hand to do is going to be cursed. You want to be an athlete, you want to be a singer, you want to be a business owner, you want to have a regular job, you want to make a mediocre money. All right. Whatever you want to do, guess what? I'm going to read it again. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Okay? And we have all forsaken Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai in our current lives and our previous lives, man. You know, and that's why we're out there telling you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to repent before it's too late, man. And matter of fact, let's close on this scripture. Let's go to the book of Acts. Yeah, so moral of the story, hey, don't enter into a contract with the heathen. Don't make a covenant with the heathen. Don't get married, okay? Because as you're seeing all over the earth, well, I'll say primarily over here in Babylon the Great, you got men going through it with these divorces, and all their hard-earned money and all their hard-earned labor is basically going down the drain because, you know, whether they got with the wrong woman or not, you know, they're going through those ramifications and stipulations that are in that contract concerning a divorce, the settlements, you know, the alimony, the child support, you know, the whole what do they call it, with the possession of the children. I forgot, there's a word, there's a term that they call it, you know, who has custody, the custody battle. All right. This is Acts 3:19. It says, repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash. I want to give double honors to the head apostle, Nettles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. To the next time, Shalom.